William Shakespeare was born April 23, 1564 in Stratford. He probably attended the local school King's New School in Stratford. In 1582, he married a woman called Anne Hathaway. Sometime between 1585 and 1592, he moved to London to work in the theater. Shakespeare penned the most famous of his 36-plus plays, including Romeo and Juliet, A Midsummer's Night Dream, Hamlet, King Lear, Macbeth, and The Tempest. Shakespeare died at age 52 of unknown causes on April 23, 1616.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Which is nobler in the mind to stuff the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the road. For in that sleep of death what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There is the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the worthy takes, when he himself must quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would Fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death? The undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others we know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment. With this regard their currents turn awry and lose the name of action.
Methinks I may profit, new inspired, and thus expiring do foretell of him, for his rash fierce blaze cannot last, but violent fires soon burn out themselves.
Oh, as reliable as a horse that never gets tired.
If I were handsome, my lovely Thisbe, I would still want only you.
It's a monster, we're being haunted, run everyone run!
I'll follow you, I'll run you round in circles, through bogs and bushes and woods and thorns. Sometimes I'll take the shape of a horse, sometimes I'll take the shape of a hound, or a pig, or a headless bear. Sometimes I'll turn into fire, and I'll neigh like a horse, and I'll bark like a hound, and I'll grunt like a pig, and I'll roar like a bear, and I'll burn like a fire in his return.
Why are they running away from me? This is some joke of theirs to scare me. Oh, Bottom, how you've changed. What have you got in your head? What do you mean what I got in my head? You're acting like a donkey, don't you think?
God bless you, Bottom, God bless you. You've been changed, reborn.
I see what they're up to. They're trying to make a fool of me to scare me if they can, but I won't leave this spot no matter what they do. I'll walk up and down and sing a song so they know I'm not afraid. The black bird with its black feathers, an orange and tan beak, the thrush of its clear voice, the wind of its small piping chirp.
You fools, I and my fellows are ministers of fate, the elements of whom your swords are tempered may as well wound the loud winds, or with bemocked stabs kill the disclosing waters, as diminish one dowl in my plume. My fellow ministers are invulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strengths, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, you three from Malin, did bring good Prospero, exposed unto the sea, hath requited him and his innocent child, for foul deeds, powers delaying, not forgetting, insisted into the sea and shores, yea, all creatures against your peace.
Be not afraid of greatness, 'twas well writ. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Remember who commanded thy yellow stockings, and wish to see the cross gartered. Go to thou art made, if the desire is to be so. If not, let me see thee a servant still.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. One man in his time played many roles, his acts being 7 ages. First the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then the whining schoolboy with the satchel, creeping like snail unwillingly at school.
I think it would be a good idea to gather streets Mercutio. Once it's out of this, people tend to get easily provoked. There are a lot of Capulets around, and I'm afraid if we run into any of them, we'll wind up in a fight.
You're one of those guys who goes into a bar and takes off his sword saying, I won't be needing this. By the time your second drink kicks in, you've done drawing your sword on the bartender for no good reason.
I really like that.
You're as hot-headed as any Italian. You get angry at the smallest things, or when you're already angry, you just look for something to provoke you.
Provoked to what?
Provoked to? No, because if there are 2 of you, there would soon be none, since one killed the other. You! Why would you argue the man for cracking hazelnuts just because you have hazel eyes? You would argue at the man for having a hair more or a hair less on his beard than you would. You are the eye for an eye when it comes to finding arguments, and yet you would lecture me about arguing.
If I was as quick to go into a fight as you, any man should bet that my life will be short.
A bet? That's silly.
I swear on my head, here comes Tybalt.
I swear my life, I don't care.
Gentlemen, good afternoon. I'd like a word with one of you.
Just a word with one of us. Why not add something to it? Make it interesting. Make it a word and a blow.
You'll find me ready enough for that, sir. If you will give me an excuse.
Can't you take some excuse instead of me giving you one?
Mercutio, you hang out with Romeo.
Hang out with him? Do you think we're some musical group? Because if so, you're only going to hear harsh notes from us. This is the bow of my fiddle. It'll make you dance, by God. Consort, you say.
We're arguing out in public. Remember the princess threat. Either let's go someplace private where we can discuss your grievances calmly and rationally, or else let's go our separate ways. Here, everyone's looking at us.
Facts are made to watch, so let them gaze. I will not budge for a man's preferences.
Well, goodbye, sir. Here comes my man.
Your man? I'd be hanged before you put on the uniform of one of your manservants. You call him your servant, your follower. Go to the dueling field. He'll be your follower then. He'll follow you onto the field and give you a proper fight. In that sense, he would be your follower.
Romeo, the nicest thing I can say about you is this. You are a villain.
Tybalt, I have reason to love you, and that reason prevents the anger such a remark should provoke. I am no villain, so goodbye. I see that you really don't know me.
Boys, that one excuse and insult that you have given me, so turn around and draw your sword.
I insist I've never insulted you, and I actually have more love for you than you could guess until you understand the reason why. So, good Capulet, a name that I now must value as much as my own. Be content with this.
Oh, Romeo, what a dishonorable, cowardly surrender. Are you going to really let his fancy-named fencing moves win the day? Tybalt, you rat catcher, would you like to have a go with me?
What do you want with me?
Good king of cats, I just want one of your 9 lives, in which I intend to take. And given how you treat me, I want to bash the other 8 too. Now go, pluck your frightened little sword out of its sack by the ears, and be quick about it, or else I'll already be hitting you round yours.
I'm ready for you.
Good Mercutio, lower your sword.
Come, sir, show me your fancy moves. Show me your passando.
Beat down their weapons, Benvolio. Beat down their weapons, Benvolio, so they can't strike each other. Gentlemen, for shame, stop this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince expressly forbade fighting in the streets of Verona. Stop, Tybalt, stop, good Mercutio.
I've been hurt! A plague on both your houses.
Are you hurt?
It's just a scratch, just a little scratch, but it's enough to do me in. Go, fool, go fetch a doctor.
It can't be that serious of a wound.
It's not as deep as a well, nor as wide as a church door, but it's enough. Ask for me tomorrow and you'll find a grave man, a plague on both your houses. Romeo, why the devil would you come between us?
I'm sorry, I was trying to help.
Go, Benvolio, get me into someone's house or I'll pass out. A plague on both your houses! A plague on both your houses!
This gentleman, the prince's closest relation, my truest friend, has been mortally wounded on my behalf. And Tybalt has put slander all over my name. Tybalt, who has only been my cousin for 1 hour. Oh, Juliet, your beauty has softened the hard steel of my nature.
Oh, Romeo! Romeo! Good Mercutio was dead! His gallant spirit rising up to the clouds, leaving us too soon.
There will be a lot of fallout from this awful, fateful day.
Here comes angry Tybalt, back again.
How is it that he gets to triumph and be alive while Mercutio is dead? I've had enough of my considerate mercy. Tybalt, take back what you said about me being a villain or else, for Mercutio's soul has not flown far away from here, and he's waiting on yours to keep him company.
You wretched boy that hung out with him here. You'll soon join him in the afterlife.
We'll see about that.
Romeo, you have to get away. Hurry. There are people around and Tybalt's lying here dead. Don't stand there stupefied. The prince will condemn you to death if you're arrested. Go, get out, get away.
Oh, my fortune's full.
What are you waiting for? Run!